I'm Ian Baker, and today we are in the 2021 Coleman Lantern 262BH. It's a great bunk model. You have the super slide with a sofa and the dinette. Bunks are on the camp side. That puts your bathroom on the off-camp side. Now, currently the slide is in. Just wanted to show you what you can access, what you can't. Bedroom, absolutely, up front, full access. Need to take a nap, pull over, of course. Take a nap, you can do that. Nor cold fridge freezer, boom, plenty of room to get to that as well. If you need to get back to the bunks or the bathroom, it's a little bit of a squeeze here. So it's doable, but it's not easy. The bathroom, you have a little knob here, but if you suck it in, it's manageable. I definitely wouldn't call it easy by any stretch, but if you want to try it, go for it. With the slide opened up, as you can see, you have a ton of space in here, which is wonderful, exactly what you want when you have a family RV. Kitchen is over on the camp side. If you drop down right in front here, you'll see some decent storage there. So if you want to use it for pots and pans, or maybe, you know, walk in, kick your shoes off, toss it under there, whatever it may be, it does give you just, again, a little bit extra storage there. Some outlets. You'll see two sets of electrical outlets, one here, another over a little ways. Also, you have USB ports there as well, so all sorts of charging in here. Pretty nice decorative backsplash as well. You know, it's a panel rather than just paper, so that way it's a little bit easier to clean. And then the countertop, you can see again, is pretty large. You have good prep space here, also a covered cooktop. You know, you have the glass cooktop there, but that's usable prep space too. Large sink. It is a single bowl composite or a plastic sink. You know, I'd prefer a stainless personally, but I guess let me know what you guys think. You know, the white, I don't know, maybe blends the countertop a little bit better. I think I'd still prefer stainless, but let me know what your preference is. High-rise faucet there too. You'll see LED lights throughout, of course. You have one in the kitchen helping to bright things up. Storage all across the top with the frosted glass, which I do like. I don't want to be able to see in there. I like helping to break up the wood look, but you know, my cups and plates and stuff aren't pretty. Might as well hide them. I do like the pulls rather than just having knobs that are really hard to get your fingers behind. These pulls, you can fit a whole hand in there. Just makes them easy to open. Microwave, you see the hood underneath with a light and a fan, as I mentioned. The 3-burner cooktop. It's a Greystone brand, folds up and back like so. You know, again, 3-burner, front one's high output. Personally, I actually prefer the Furion just a little bit. I don't know which one cost more, but I feel like the Furion just, it feels a little bit nicer to me. Underneath, you'll see the oven here. Nothing huge. You can cook a few cookies in there, but definitely no Thanksgiving turkey. Underneath the oven, let me open this up for you. Because as you can see, it's actually decent storage. Good spot for some of your pots and pans. A bank of 3 drawers, full extension. The top one is perfect for flatware. The bottom 2 are nice and deep for some of your larger items. You know, when I go camping, I take an apple core with me and an immersion blender, and you got plenty of space for it there. And also you will see plenty of room for a trash can, which is another big thing to me, because I hate having to hang my trash bags on my knobs or pulls. You will see your Norcold fridge freezer. As I showed you in the beginning here, opening that guy up, you have plenty of space, and as you saw, you can access this with the slide closed. Storage up top as well as over to the side. Now, you kind of have to decide what you want to do with this storage, because you have a couple options. Option A would be to use it as pantry because it's close to the kitchen. Option B would be to use it for kids' clothes storage because you don't really have a dedicated spot for that. Or C, you could use it for a linen closet. Or D, you use it for all of them. It is deep storage and it's a lot of it, but again, you have a lot of needs for it, so it kind of depends on what your particular need is. Double over double bunks in the back, Teddy Bear Bunk Series, 300-pound weight capacity. You can see that right there. So, you know, it can support adults. You have USB ports. Here, I'll jump in here just to kind of show you. I'm 6 foot tall, and if I lay down, oops, there we go. You'll see it is pretty tight. I'm basically touching both the head and the feet, but if I put a pillow up here, I can do it. If you're any taller, you know, 6'1", 6'2", you'll probably have to lay on an angle. But the fact it has 300-pound weight capacity and I can sit in there as an adult is pretty great. You will also see we have a little finger hole here. Lift that up. Dun, 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 dun. So, storage, always a good thing. So you can see the access to the storage there. You know, probably, again, a place for kids' clothes. Not the easiest in the world to access, but that's kind of, you know, one of the disadvantages of having rear bunks, rear corner bunks, rather than having a bunk house, is you just don't have as much storage for the kids' clothes. When you come into the bathroom here, So to be honest, you know, I'm 6 foot. This is a little tight for me. My knees and my feet are kind of jammed up in here. If you're any taller than I am, A, good for you. You're very lucky. B, again, it will be very tight. The toilet itself is plastic. I would, you know, again, a composite. I would personally like to see porcelain. You probably have enough room to put in a porcelain one. Porcelains tend to be a little bit bigger, but again, I don't know how much more forward that's going to push you. So, you know, you'd want to make sure that you take a look at that if you want a porcelain. Probably something you want to try to work out before you purchase. You have a little bit of storage underneath the sink. Good countertop space here. I do like that it extends over. Electrical outlet, mirror, no medicine cabinet, but you know that's all right. Again, you do have some storage here as well as there. But that's why I say, right, you know, it needs a linen closet. You need a place for your towels. So that's what that one storage area kind of becomes. Or you just hang, you know, one on each side here. Kind of your choice. Taking a step in the tub. This is one part where I don't have any issues. 6 foot tall. I can clear the ceiling. The vent fan doesn't give you much more room here. So again, if you're, you know, 6'1" or taller, you'll probably still have to bend down. But at 6 foot, I am good to go. Also, I do like a tub because if you have kiddos that, you know, still take baths, they're not, you know, haven't stepped up into the shower life yet, you're able to give them a bath in there, which is cool. Right outside, you will see the thermostat. This does control your ducted AC as well as your ducted heat. Electrical outlet right down below. Great spot for a vacuum, you know, nice and easy. Of course, you know, it's a 2021 camper, so there's very limited carpet, basically only right here. Everything else, you can probably just take like a Swiffer wet jet or something, be good to go. You'll see the dinette. I do like, you know, kind of like the diamond stitching in here. I forget what they call it. It has a specific name, but it eludes me. But either way, you know, I do like the diamond pattern. Just kind of helps break things up, give it a little nicer aesthetic piece. This does drop down into a bed. You'll see that the table itself just sits right on here. Take the cushions, throw it on top. Not a huge sleeping space, but it's good for kids. If you need to put a pack and play or something up there, just don't put any cushions on it, just the table. They have a nice flat surface, works for that too. And as far as storage, let me lift these cushions up and off. And you will see here, kind of like we had in the back, little finger hole, lift that up, and you have access to the storage there. You know, again, I would prefer if they have doors or something with a drawer on here to access it. I know it costs a little bit more money, but you know, let me know what your guys' thoughts are. Are you perfectly fine with lifting up the cushions to access that storage, or would you also like to have a door, a drawer, some kind of easier access to the storage underneath the dinette? Moving on, you'll see windows on above both the dinette as well as the sofa. This is pretty common for manufacturers. A lot of them are going away from storage above the sofa in lieu of larger windows to bring in more natural light. The sofa itself is a jackknife style sofa. You'll see here, just kind of lift it up like that to access the storage. Cool thing about the Coleman series is that they go one step further. And again, easier access, right? They have it here. Makes it a lot easier to reach anything underneath the sofa without having to kind of, you know, play the game. It's magnetic, the magnetic catch, so, you know, very easy to operate. Moving up a little bit further, we get into the entertainment center. I really personally like this wall. I know that kind of the late 2020, you know, going into 2021, the trend has been kind of like a gray wood, and that's what they did here. But I really like it. I think it brings in like a residential feel to it, especially being like your main focus, the main centerpiece. You know, it's nothing fancy. It's just a wall board. But again, I like the look of it. This is where your TV will mount if you want one. Hookups right down here. Basically, a car stereo is what you have for a multimedia center, but it does the trick, you know, controls the speakers in here as well as outside, and it's Bluetooth capable. If you want something, you know, like a DVD player, a Blu-ray player, you'll have to bring that separately. You also will see storage right there. And again, you have a little bit of storage underneath here. So as I mentioned, you have the storage for shoes under there, but if you want to, you know, kick some flip-flops or a pair of shoes, pair or two of shoes under there, you can do that too. Coming into the bedroom, nope, I haven't made the bed here. Sam, you want to hit that light right above your head? There we go, turn that guy on. So, there we go, we'll kind of quickly make the bed. I promise, Mom, I made it. So here we are, we have the queen size bed, you know, pretty basic stuff. It is a camper queen in the Lantern series. If you go into the Coleman Light, it moves up into which is the fiberglass exterior, you get residential. But here, again, it is a little bit shorter. It's 60 wide by 74, so it's 6 inches short. Nightstands on both sides. You know, I like the fact they have like this nice countertop on it. You know, a lot of manufacturers just have simple paneling, but they kind of went a step above and beyond to give you something a little bit nicer. You have the little cubby hole underneath. Again, electrical outlet and USB port, so dedicated spot for cell phone charging. Plus, if you have a CPAP machine or oxygen machine or something you need to plug in, you have the electrical outlet for that. Mirrored wardrobes, you know, pretty self-explanatory. You have a hanging rod in both of those. Shelf connecting across the top, and on the far side, you will see that you have a spot to mount a TV. Last thing I do want to mention is for privacy, you know, this is a bunk room, you'll have kids. You have actual slider doors rather than curtains. It's a big deal to me. It just, you know, while yes, you can absolutely still hear through it and there's a big gap underneath, it just gives you that extra feeling and sense of privacy of being in your own bedroom. Now that we've seen the insides, take a look at some of the outside features on the 2021 Coleman Lantern 262BH. Up front is the power tongue jack, making it easier to connect and disconnect from your tow vehicle. Simply flip the rocker switch to raise and lower the tongue. You also have a light for added visibility at night and manual override in the rare event the motor does fail. Behind that, you have two 20-pound propane tanks. You'll see rails here for your battery. Then the diamond etch plating coming up the front, helping to protect that front end from rocks and debris that get thrown up by your tow vehicle. You also see right down there, you have solar prep. So if you want solar, simply buy portable panels, plug it in right there, and it will trickle charge your battery. For the pass-through, you get a magnetic catch, put it up just like so, nice and easy. I really do like that, especially in a bunk model, because if you have smaller kids, they tend to come up here and just rip this thing down, and sometimes those plastic clips, if they're on there, they'll snap. So having the magnetic catch kind of helps with that. Taking a look in there though, one of the things I love about the Coleman Lantern series is the large pass-through storage. They do a great job of having big pass-through. You can see that right there. Not only, you know, is it tall here for the door, but it's also a very wide door, and the storage even extends beyond that door. So if you have, you know, larger grills, chairs, things like that, you can generally fit them in there, which is fantastic. You will see the power awning. Touch a button to roll that out. Same thing to go back in with the LED light strip on there, so you have light at night. You don't have to, you know, hang up your party lights unless you have really cool ones. Then by all means, have both. You'll also see your switch right here for your power stabilizer jack. So these are not auto level. These are not power level. You still want to level it out with blocks. But once you're all leveled out, you can use this switch right here, and your stabilizer jacks will drop down. That way, your RV is stable when you're walking around, not rocking as you're walking around inside. These steps are the LCI solid step, and just like the name implies, it is exactly that, a solid step. You know, I'm over 200 pounds, I can run up and down this thing, and you don't have the flex that you get in normal steps, especially over time. If you've ever seen some older trailers, you know what I mean, where the standard steps, they kind of start to feel like a springboard after a while. You won't get that with these. Aluminum treads on there with the grip tape. You have the extendable feet there too. The one thing that I don't care for, you know, I wish that they would have changed this. This is kind of a fail in my book. I wish they would have had a bigger grab handle, you know, because if you have like your grandma or someone staying with you, or in the case of my grandma, you know, it's a little bit tougher to get in here, right? Like you just don't have a lot of control from that first step. It's a pretty big reach to this grab handle. So would have liked to have seen a larger foldable one, but it's a pretty minor thing. It may not affect you, especially, like I said, you know, if you're a younger family and you know, you have great knees, who knows, maybe you'll be okay. You'll also see the couple outside speakers there. Those are connected to that multimedia center inside, but that unit is Bluetooth capable, as I mentioned. So, you know, if you have like Pandora or Spotify, something like that, you can still kind of control it from right out here. Electrical outlet there, you will see your fresh tank fill. So if you're going somewhere you don't have city water, that is where you will fill the fresh water tank. Easy lube axles, that way you don't have to repack the bearings as often. It's always a good thing. This right here is the control for your rear stabilizer jacks. You know, I know it's not much, but I do like the fact they cover the switch up, you know, so that way if it's raining, you don't have, don't have the fear of the electrical issues there. So I think that's a pretty nice, small, inexpensive feature that they added. Right up top is backup camera prep. If you want a backup camera, having the prep makes it easier to install. Outside shower is on the back rather than the off-camp side. This does make it easier to access. You have both hot and cold water access there. Excuse me. Then you'll also see your bumper with the end caps. Make your way to the off-camp side. You'll see cable inlet located right over to the side. 30 amp power cord. Just lift that up. That'll allow you to kind of open this, grab the power cord, plug it in, shut her back down, and you're good to go. You have the power there. City water inlet on the back. Right down underneath is your termination. You will see both your black and gray tank valves. And then if we can sneak up here, oh boy, here we go. This is, see how we do. I've been putting on a little bit of weight. Made it. All right. Last thing I want to show you folks, right up here. This is the other side of your pass-through. All that and it's locked. Darn it, Sam. Anyway, that is the other side of your pass-through. Flips up. You have the magnet right there. But folks, that wraps it up. And again, this is the 2021 early model Coleman Lantern 262BH. If you are interested in this camper and you would like price and availability, simply click on the link in the description and that will give you the nearest price and availability. Also, make sure in the comments section you leave a comment. Let me know what you think they nailed, what they failed, and if you were designing the RV, what you would change. Thanks again for watching, folks. I'm Ian Baker, and let's go camping.